If you rearrange the letters in Russell T Davies, you can get lads virtuous.
Virtuous lads?
Virtuous lads makes you think, are we a couple of virtuous lads?
What does virtuous mean? I'm going to have to look that up because I don't want to agree.
What doesn't it mean?
Virtuous is a word, virtuous is not.
Well,
so we can make it up. What should virtuous mean? People with a knack for podcasting and doing amazing intro gags?
That's the one.
Then we are a pair of virtuous lads, and as a pair of virtuous lads, we should roll the intro.
Hello and welcome back to Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast. My name is Crispy, his name is Troy, and we're the hotline that accepts your calls throughout all of time and space. And today we are talking about, a little thing called Doctor Who Proms that Troy happened to go to, and I wasn't able to because I live in a part of the world where they don't have that. Troy, how are you?
I'm good, sir. Do you
what are you
smell
holding
this?
in your hands? What is this? What is this for the
It's
audio
a beautiful
listeners?
book. It
beautiful
smells like...
book.
Smells like Russell T Davies. I don't know why I said that. Actually, to be fair, I might know what he smells like now.
Yeah.
That's a weird way to start this episode off. Anyway, here I have a BBC Proms programme, which costs £6.
Wow.
And fun fact, eBay scalpers tried to flip them for like £90 to £100, and then the BBC officially went, by the way, we're reselling these, which is quite funny.
Wow.
So-
Wow. Good on you, BBC.
Yeah. So if you're the person who paid like 90 quid for a programme and you happen to be listening to this podcast... Sorry, but we're here to talk about the Doctor Who Proms, which happened again to this year for the first time in 11 years, Crispy.
Wow.
Can you believe that? 11 years.
11 years? That's like
In
more
fact-
than 10.
It says... Very good. It says in this programme, Doctor Who first came to the Proms in 2008 and proved to be one of the hottest tickets that season. The musical extravaganza took in a especially written one-off episode, placing David Tennant's 10th Doctor in the Royal Albert Hall, even though he couldn't actually be there in person, as he was in Stratford-upon-Avon playing Shakespeare. But in 2010, the show was performed twice. The 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, appeared first, teasingly, on screen, then live, and the former companions Karen Gillan and Arthur Darvill doubled as co-presenters. And then in 2013, for Doctor Who's 50th anniversary year, the series returned to the Proms for another pair of spectacular performances. But we haven't seen it at the Proms since, until this year we got another pair of performances, where we got the Doctor Who Proms.
Wow.
Amazing.
I wonder why they didn't do it for Capaldi or Jodie. I feel like it would have
Because Doctor Who
sold.
fell off, oh, no one likes Doctor Who,
I
ratings
forgot.
disaster, I
Go
actually
woke,
don't know.
go broke. I see.
Yeah, I actually don't know. It's not a Moffat problem. It's not a Moffat era problem because we had 3 shows under Moffat, 2 for 2010
weird.
and 1 for 2013. So who knows? If you don't know, the
I
BBC
don't.
Proms, as a context for this, is a musical extravaganza that takes place at the Royal Albert Hall in London, where they play a whole bunch of tracks from Doctor Who, soundtrack pieces, big pieces, things like that. It's normally
We're
hosted
talking-
by a Doctor Who person.
We're talking Kylie Can't Get You Out of My Head. We're talking Rogue
No, we're not.
Traders, Voodoo Child.
No,
we're
we're not.
talking all the hits from Doctor Who that you know and love.
No, we're not.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
We're talking everything written by Murray Gold and Segan Akinola.
Of course.
Once again, much like the 60th anniversary concert that was last year, I'm just going to lead with this, sorry. Segan Akinola got shafted again. I just have
What's
to put this out
happened?
there. Because Murray Gold obviously gets most of the music, and that's fair. He composed a lot of the tracks. But, Segan only gets one piece. He gets one piece that's called The 13th Doctor, and it just collects some notable music from a few different episodes from her era, and that is it. And
Weird.
surely, obviously, Murray will get the majority of the show. I would expect that. I'd be happy with that. But, can you not at least split up a couple? Can I not get the 13th Doctor's theme in full? Why does it have to be just the bit of it from the end of Power of the Doctor when she regenerates? There could be more there.
Can you use your maths in your head right now? Because you're very good with your
Yes.
maths, Troy. What percentage of Doctor Who in modern Doctor Who was scored by Akinola?
If we have to do episodes, I'm going to be here a lot longer.
No,
but if we go
not
seasons,
episodes. Series.
Well, 3 out of 14. So
Yeah,
what is
what's
that as
that
a percentage? That's just over 20%. 21, 22%.
Would you say that 21% of the show was Sagan? How much?
Because that would mean
if you
one
had
in
to
every
guess,
5
if you had to
songs
have a
played would be
guess,
Segan.
If you had to
And
have a guess.
I can tell you right now. Sorry, I have a lot of positive things to say. I didn't mean to start with this. It's the only negative I have from the show, genuinely. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you would think 2 or 3 of the tracks would be Segan, but only 1. So just saying, more 13 Doctor Rap, please. But there you go. But to be fair, actually, there was one other negative. They didn't play the Shepherd's Boy, which was insane. I don't know why they didn't do that. I know.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. The Shepherd's Boy, if you're not a music nerd like Crispy and I are, then that is the piece that plays during Heaven Sent.
It's
where
so good. It's a banger.
figures out what's going on in the Confession Dial, and also during his regeneration. Same music plays there. But yeah, so the BBC proms for Doctor Who took place on Monday, what day was it? The 26th of August. There were 2 shows, one at 2:30 in the afternoon and one at 7 p.m. at night. And I was lucky enough, thanks to my mum for booking our tickets, to attend the 2:30 performance, the matinee.
Ooh.
And it was glorious. So we're going to talk a bit about my experience there, talk a bit about the proms generally, what we like about them, what we dislike, how much you've seen of them, especially as an Australian. But let's take a caller first, shall we, and see what one of our listeners thinks about the proms. Well, let's lead with Minusich, one of our older listeners. In fact, I think he's been listening since episode 1. He's called in to tell us about the proms. So what has Minusich got to say? Hello.
I just got off the train this morning in Liverpool Street for the proms tonight and immediately saw someone dressed as the 10th Doctor. I think this is going to be pretty cool. However, I'm not expecting it to be as good as previous proms I've seen clips of on YouTube and stuff, just because they used to, like, do little mini-sodes and stuff. And after the special message during the cinema screenings for Empire of Death, I'm not expecting anything from Russell tonight.
Yeah, that's fair. So if you don't know, when they did the screening of Legend of Ruby Sunday and Empire of Death, there was like meant to be a special thing happening as part of the episode, and it was just a 30-second message from Millie Gibson saying thanks for watching season 1. Enjoyed the finale. That was it.
Wow.
So I can't blame him for not having high hopes. However, he did call in, and it's Minusich Part 2 with 4 seconds.
Oh.
It's post-prom. Should we see what he said after the prom?
Yeah, let's do it.
He said this.
Russell T Davies, I take back everything I ever said. That's incredible.
There you go. That sums it up. It wasn't I got the negatives out of the way. It was a fantastic show. It was a genuinely fantastic show.
Take me through your experience. Did you train it over?
Yeah, we took a train down to London. You know, we got up bright and early to listen to some Doctor Who music. It was amazing.
Nice.
It was iconic. It was great. We were sat. Well, the seats we got accessible seats, and it was really quite. It was dead close to the stage. We were right next to the orchestra. Basically, we were almost touching them. And we basically could have eye line with Catherine Tate, who was the host, as she was coming in and out of the stage to present, which was lovely. And it also allowed special guest Anita Dobson, who showed up later as she was walking off stage. She waved at me, which was lovely.
Very cool. We'll
get to that in a bit. Well, actually, let's do that now. So, Minusich talks about, special things happening. For the 2008 proms, there was, the Music of the Spheres thing, where David Tennant did, an interactive thing with the Royal Albert Hall, where it was, everyone was playing music with him, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that was, a televised thing. It was on screen. The Matt Smith proms... Did they say he showed up for the 2010 one? I know he showed up for 2013 because he showed up and he was suddenly the conductor and he was bald.
I think
he had his hair shaved at that point.
I think he showed up for the 20... I mean, I've seen some of the clips online, but there was a green wall or something. And there was that moment where he's talking to a kid in the audience.
He was on screen, then he was live. That's exactly it. Yeah, I think that was exactly how it happened. So I was wondering if Ncuti Gatwa might appear. Spoilers, he did not. There was a little bit early on in the show where it was the Doctor and Maestro, and they'd recorded bits to be played as if it was at the proms, which was quite cool.
Oh,
it was quite cool to see a bit more of Jinx Monsoon. Yeah,
really?
Just a little bit.
Wait, so both Ncuti and Jinx?
Yeah, both. They were both recorded separately, and you could kind of tell. It was like that background, the video where they go, "Happy Birthday, Doctor Who," and it just bounced between all of them, and Jinx is like, "Happy Birthday, Doctor Who." That same background there, I think she filmed it at the same time, maybe. But it was really cool. She was like, "I'm going to take control of the Albert Hall, music is mine, blah, blah, blah." And she got the orchestra to play "I've Got a Dog."
Oh,
I kid you not, she got the orchestra to play the terrible Beatles song. Obviously,
they couldn't play the Shepherd's Boy, but they play.
No, but they could play "I've Got a Dog." Yeah, would you believe it? Would you believe it? Honestly,
I would believe it. That is wild.
Oh, honestly. But yeah, so that was the only bit of interactivity we got. There was a TARDIS on the stage, and I genuinely thought for a little bit that Ncuti might have popped out of it at one point, but alas, no. There was just a TARDIS on the stage there, just chilling.
Oh well, there'll probably be another one eventually.
Oh, I think so. But I think what might have been happening, well, he's doing a play soon. He's in The Importance of Being Earnest, the Oscar Wilde play in London. I think it starts in November, I believe. I'm going to go see it, which is going to be amazing. I think it's in January we go see it, or December. I can't remember. But, so that'll be fab. But I'm assuming he was rehearsing for that. But I think if that's the case, that's in London. It's a shame that he's not, like, able to just come over for a night and be like, yeah, hello, proms, goodbye. You know?
Yeah.
Just that. Not stay till the end of the proms, because my goodness, he would have got swarmed like Russell T Davies did, which we'll get to in a minute, because he was there at both proms, and let's just say by the time the evening one came around, he was there with Stephen Moffat, and they both, apparently, according to someone who was there, left like that as soon as the show was ending. They hightailed it out of it before anyone could catch them.
Okay.
Which I don't blame them for, because here's what happened when I was at the show. Because here's a little fun story. Because
this is it. This is the moment.
On Twitter. I know you're excited, Crispy. I can imagine.
Shaking in my boots.
Well, we all managed to already spot. My mum and I were looking around, going, "I wonder if Russell's in the audience." And we're looking around, and then I suddenly saw this man in a white shirt. He was sat up quite tall and had sunglasses tucked into the top of his shirt, and I went, that's Russell. He wears his sunglasses like that, and he's chilling like that. Like, he looks quite tall, looks like his body profile. That's him in the distance. Got my phone, zoomed in, and went, that's Russell. I was like, I know it, that's him. So we knew he was here. Catherine Tate came out on stage then at the start of the show, and after about 10 minutes went, Russell T Davies is in the house, and everyone went, woo! I was like, oh my god, Russell. So I hatched a little plan. I said to Mum, do you think he'll leave the box that he's in? Because he was in a little one of those little, like, viewing boxes, but on the ground floor. Like just above like the ground floor seats. And I was like, do you think he might leave his box in the interval? She was like, he might. I said, as soon as the first half ends, I'm going to run and see if anyone else is going to try and catch him. So, as the first half ended, literally ran off to go and see. Went to the box and they went, he's not coming out. I went, okay, fair enough. There were a couple of other people who were waiting and they went, actually come round here. And I went, okay. So I followed a couple of people who were waiting. And it turns out this massive queue while I was at the box had formed going down the aisles of the Royal Albert Hall, like a massive queue, just to come up to him and like get signatures and take photos and stuff.
What?
So the group of us that were in,
Russell the star.
We just basically like try and meshed into the queue, I guess. And then 5 so minutes later, there I was with Russell and got this photo.
I can't believe you got a photo with Russell. That is crazy.
Bet you love this photo, Apple Podcast listeners. He's put the joke in.
He's got it. He's got it. Well, that's definitely Russell the T. What was that interact? Did you say, hey? Did you say anything?
It was so brief. He was literally, you didn't even basically talk to him. It was almost like Jodie Whittaker at her first Comic-Con. What?
Yeah, right.
But basically, what happened was people were rushing so much to talk to him. Like, if they had a program, and I had one as well and didn't bring it with me, didn't think to get it signed, didn't even cross my mind, and I was in the queue, and I could see my mum, I waved at her and then texted her and went, should have brought the bloody program. But I was like, right, so he's signing everything, taking photos. So you basically walk up, I give him something to sign, I go, can I get a photo? He goes, yes, you move on. You basically had almost no time to say anything else.
Yeah, wow.
Someone else took that photo, ironically. I gave like someone else the phone and her hands were shaking because she was about to meet him as well. It was lovely of her to do it. But legit, like, just got a photo of him. And I went to take a picture of him signing something as well. And then he thought I was, like, waiting for him to pose for a photo. And he looked up quickly, panicking. And I was like, no, I'm just wanted to get a photo of you just doing a signing. Because he was in such a rush. Like, everything was super duper rushed. And I feel bad for him because, like, he had so many people piling on him. And the people in his box, literally as I was meeting him, went, you got to stop meeting people now. That's it. You got to stop talking to people, health and safety. And he went, oh, I don't care. Oh, I don't mind. Let's get. They went, no, it's health and safety. He clearly ignored them because by the time I got a photo, went back around to the box and sat down, he was still there and was still signing for about 5-10 more minutes before everyone dissipated. So
yeah,
he did not care, and I loved that.
Man, I really wish I knew the writer's tale at the back of my head, because I think he talks about the fan like interactions in the book and stuff, and he says he loves it, and he always like feels guilty if he doesn't like go and see people, because these are the people that make Doctor Who. So I think deep down he was very grateful, but I think for the second show or whatever, he's like, nah, I've done my bit today.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, I like that's I'm not judging him in any way for just going, do you know what? Let's not do that.
Nor am I.
Yeah,
absolutely
he'll have done
not.
that many
It's his
autographs,
right.
And especially if Steve Moffat was there as well, the two of them would never have got away. That would have been it.
No,
the two men, like, much as we both love Chibnall in this podcast, the two men who have like done the most to keep Doctor Who as big and popular and as successful as it is, no offense to Chibnall, again, seriously, but those two together in a room with thousands of Doctor Who fans who are there for music, most of whom are in cosplay, by the way, you'd never get away. You'd never. Like,
Stampede.
there were memes, people making memes of it like he was running away like Austin Powers, trying to get out of the Royal Albert Hall, and I really don't blame him. He was gone, even in our afternoon show, right before the end. He got up and bailed. He was there when, like, everyone was coming up on stage to, like, take the applause, and then at one point I just looked over and he just wasn't there, and I was like, yeah, fair enough, mate, I don't blame you.
Yeah. Wow. But
it was just cool to see him there witnessing this amazing concert. It was brilliant.
Yeah, and he went to both of them. So
he did.
He must be very proud of the event. I wonder how involved he was, or maybe he wasn't involved very much and was like, I've got to see this thing.
Yeah, I think more likely the latter, to be honest. I don't know if he'd have much say, because he might have had more of a say in the 60th one because he came up on stage for that. Maybe, I don't know. But even then, he might just be a spectator for these. You know, he kind of organises the events or says, "Let's do them." Maybe if he's got the say, which I imagine he might do, and then lets whoever's involved with them arrange them. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
we should get into specifics of songs, Crispy, and your experiences. But first, let's take another caller.
Oh, please.
What has Cyberman734 got to say about the Doctor Who proms?
Delete.
This isn't about the Doctor Who proms. Sadly, sorry. But I've discovered this plot hole. Amy's choice. Doctor can regenerate. We all know that. But why didn't Amy just kill the Doctor in that episode? If he didn't regenerate, it's a dream. See, easy as. Easy. I'm so smart. Smarter than anybody. Yeah.
Wow.
He wouldn't regenerate no matter what.
Because they're both dreams.
No, because he's at the end of his lives and hadn't been given a new cycle.
Oh, wow. I forgot. Hello, Moffat. He definitely knew that in 2010.
Are we keeping this plot line in here, or are we going to retake this and pick a different caller?
No. Let's keep that in.
All right,
Everyone let us know
well, Simon, well
what
done.
you think about Amy's choice. I like that Cyberman acknowledged the call-in topic this week, but then was devious like a Cyberman.
Don't get any ideas, people. All right. I'm swinging the book. I'm ready. I'll throw the book at you, as the saying goes. I'll throw the book at you.
So if anyone tries to do that again, Troy will throw a book at you. Okay?
I will. Through the airwaves. Crispy, it's time for you to talk, good sir.
Oh, hello.
What are your experiences, big or small, of the Doctor Who proms?
Mainly, wow. Oh, Troy. An excellent question, sir. I completely forgot about this until now.
I was going to say, it felt like you just kicked into a second gear halfway through that answer.
So, you know how I always say that James Corden was my first experience with Doctor Who?
I've suddenly lost interest.
Well, I think that technically this is false. This is false information. That was the first ever episode of Doctor Who that I watched, but I think in grade 4, we had a music class, and my music teacher, Mr. Sasha or something, put on the Doctor Who proms for a class one day. And I remember
I want to meet that man and shake his hand.
I remember very, very vividly, it was like Freema Agyeman being the host or something. She was there, right?
So 2008 proms, yeah, she hosted that one.
Okay, it couldn't have... All right, maybe it was grade 6 or something. But I remember, like, the Krillita, like the villains in School Reunion, the Krillita, is that what they're called?
Krillitane, yeah.
Yeah, I remember them vividly and be like, oh, this show looks scary. This show looks creepy.
Guess I won't watch it for another few years.
Yeah, and then I won't. Yeah, I put it off for another few years, and then so that's my first ever memory of Doctor Who. Maybe weirdly, is watching the Doctor Who proms in music class because they just chucked it on one day. So that's a fun thing.
Did any of the music stick out to you at all? Or were you very much just like, I want to get out of this class?
I think I heard of the Doctor Who theme that we use, but I don't remember that. That was a long, long time ago, and I wasn't really paying attention because it was one of those classes where the teacher turned on the TV and didn't feel like teaching. So I was like, if you're going to kick your feet up, I'm kicking my feet up too.
I don't blame him, mate. Trust me, I've been on both sides. I get it.
Yeah. So, but
that's
apart from that,
that's a fun fact
YouTube
I did not know about you.
Yeah, well, I didn't know about that.
I didn't know about
it. I had no idea. Yeah, that's like a deep, subseeded memory in my brain.
So have you seen much of the prom since?
No, not really. I've seen clips online, but I don't think I've ever watched the proms from A to B, from start to finish, ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Well, they have confirmed that they recorded the evening show. They recorded the afternoon show as well. From the look of it, there were cameras swinging around, but I wonder if that's for like pick-up shots in case something went wrong in the evening. But they said they were specifically recording the evening show to be televised at a later date. You can listen to the prom audio-wise on BBC Sounds now, but the televised version will be sometime around Christmas. So I imagine it's going to be UK only, but if there's a way to get it to you, maybe with insert VPN brand here for sponsorship, you could watch it.
My VPNs just don't work on BBC iPlayer anymore. I've got two, and none of them work.
If you're a VPN out there that works on BBC iPlayer, get in touch. redcrispypro@gmail.com. We'd love to work with you and take all of your money and promote your products. Thank you very much.
Please, thank you.
Seriously, we're clinging on. I'm hanging on by a thread here, mate. You know,
Same.
You know,
I'm on
Crispy's not paying me
knife's
enough to edit
edge.
these videos. It's a problem. I keep asking him for more money and he keeps saying no.
No, because he's going to the proms without me. How do you think I feel?
My mum booked the tickets. Take it up with her, not me.
All right. I'll give her a call.
You are not supposed to say all right to that. She's one of your most dedicated listeners.
Beep, 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 beep. Hello, Mama Arch Alive.
I'm pretty sure you have her added on something. I think you actually could call her if you wanted.
Nah, she's going to sleep.
She is. She is going to sleep shortly. So let's move on with another caller, Matthias. What do you think about the Doctor Who proms?
I've never been, but I always wanted to go. I do remember watching the Matt Smith and Clara thing. I think it was like a minisode they had where they went to the proms, and that was kind of cool. But yeah, I always wanted to go, but I never could because of money thing, and it's just too far away for me. Yeah, thanks, guys.
There you go.
Shame,
well,
shame.
it's not the cheapest thing. I mean, I think.
Can I ask how much it was?
How much the tickets cost? I paid for my ticket and then kind of moved on because that's what the thing with finance with me. I kind of go, right, how much do I owe you? Send it, wince a bit, and then move on with my life.
Yeah.
So I don't remember how much the tickets cost. I know a train to London is not cheap. Like, I've made this joke before. I have a friend who lives in Poland, and it is cheaper for me to buy return flights to Warsaw to see her than it is to buy a return train to London. That's where the economy's at. It's a fun time. But like it's not the cheapest even for us to get down there, and we're only in Liverpool, we're not even in a different country. So, like, I can understand that. And the Royal Albert Hall is, like, quite a fancy place. I'd never been there. I'd always heard, like, about how beautiful the venue is, seen the clips and stuff, and gone, I'd love to be in there. And
have you ever been around it? Have you ever been outside it?
No, never been outside it. My mum had been outside it.
I was outside it just last year.
So you were close to it before I was.
I took a photo of me pointing at it, being like, it's
that
I
think I remember you. Yeah. There you go. So you beat me to it in going to the hall, but I beat you to it in going in the hall.
Wow. Gosh. Well played. Shake hands on that, sir. Well
there you
played.
Go. Thank you. It's funny because it's a big building. When you actually get in there, it's kind of surprisingly small. Like, it's big, but it's also it's hard to explain. I was sat in there and looking around and like, this is quite a big hall, but also feels quite compact at the same time. There's a nice vibe to it. It doesn't feel like you're in like a stadium tour or something. It's like there's a lot of people in here, but it also still feels a little bit intimate. Like, a lot of people could probably still very easily see the stage and all the monsters that came out.
It does look like a gorgeous venue.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. So shall I run you through some of the music they played at the proms?
Mate, I'm keen to hear the hits.
Well, there were some surprising ones, or at very least surprising names, because like there were. Well, let's go through it. First off, they played the 15th Doctor's theme, as they should. They started with the original Doctor theme, the 9th, 10th Doctor's theme, and then kind of swished into it, which was a strange transition, but it kind of worked. Then there was the Dr. Donna and the Toymaker, which was the 60th Specials music, and I've said this to you before, like, one of my favourite pieces of music in all of Doctor Who is the music when the new TARDIS is unveiled, and 14 runs around it. It opened with that, and I had a lump in my throat. I was nearly crying, or actually crying, probably about 6-7 times during this.
Yeah, wow.
It's funny. It was a similar thing. Earlier that week, or like a week ago to that point, I'd seen The Amazing Spider-Man in cinemas again. I think I might have mentioned at the podcast, they're running all the Spider-Man films again in the UK. And that was the first superhero film I'd ever seen on the big screen when I was a kid. So, like, there was something really weirdly emotional about seeing that again on the big screen as a much older person who's also much more into that stuff now. Like, I got proper emotional at several points just knowing those bits. It was the same effect in here. Like, I'd seen the proms, I'd listened to the music and always wanted to go, and then being in there and hearing some of the music that I loved, especially newer stuff, I was like, I'm hearing this live before like anyone. What is happening? This is amazing. Like, it was a gorgeous thing. So that was a standout. There was Into the Vortex, which weirdly enough mixed music from Space Babies and Rogue. I don't know why they were the combination. Plus, Into the Vortex is a quote from Empire of Death. So do with that what you will. Then we had I Am the Doctor, because of course we did.
Oh,
Absolutely
June.
fantastic. And
That's
it was
when did the mosh go off?
Suite.
There was
And at that
everyone
point, Monsters
raging?
came out. Monsters came
Who?
out. Monsters, Silurians, Silence, Cybermen. A few of them came out at whole different points. They had quite a few costumes. Some of them you could tell had been there for a while, but still looked amazing. There was a Jadoon who came out at one point, and as they were walking off stage, I noticed one small hole in the neck, and that was it. Like, these are outfits they probably had for 10, 15 years.
They've
and
been in the prop
kept
department
at the
for a
utmost
long,
quality.
long time. Yeah.
Yeah, there were... Right, let's see if I can remember everything I saw. There were Chulda, which was really cool, and the Bogeyman. So they came out during the Into the Vortex
What did the
stuff.
Bogeyman look like? IRL.
Well, he was up in the choir. He didn't come down to the main stage, but from what
he
I could
was
see, 'cause
singing.
it was quite close. Yeah, he looked... I think it might have been the same costume, without all the extra bogies they were talking about in Doctor Who Unleashed, which is probably for the best. You wouldn't want them on the choir people.
Was the Bogeyman a good singer for the choir? Was he a tenor or a soprano?
Didn't sing, didn't hear it. Maybe he had a
did he
blocked
go,
nose, I'm not sure. Maybe he had a blocked nose, Crispy.
Baby.
Thank you.
Very good.
So they came out. So there was some Cybermen of different eras: Cybus ones, Matt Smith ones, and Mondasians, which I thought was really cool. We had
Delicious.
Silence. We had a bronze Dalek, like a standard bronze Dalek. Jadoon. There was the Mummy on the Orient Express that came out at one point. The Peg Dolls from Night Terrors.
Oh, wow.
And
Gosh,
was
some
that it?
real throwbacks.
There was some serious throwbacks, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There was nothing from Jodie's. That's a lie. There were Cybermasters. Cybermasters
cool.
came out, and
Cool,
they
cool,
looked
cool.
phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
still the best design for the Cybermen. They looked gorgeous. The Gallifreyan writing on. There were various different ones, all with the different writing on, like different ranking ones. They were gorgeous.
Sick.
I think that was it in terms of the monsters. And then, as I said, Anita Dobson came out at one point as Mrs. Flood. Like,
So cool.
For a minute, I was like, is that actually Anita Dobson? So she was in, like, the full white, puffy coat from the end of Empire of Death with the umbrella. And she kind of, like, walked out behind Catherine Tate. And then all of a sudden, everyone went, oh! And then I went, that can't be. And then she looked our direction. I went, that's Anita Dobson! I was like, what on earth?
That's pretty cool.
I was like, that's our, like, actual, like, in-character cast member in lieu of, like, I guess, Shooty or Millie turning up. But I was like, that's still really cool. It's really cool to see her there.
Can I ask what do you reckon the age range was there? Because I'd love to know what kind of
there was a
clientele
guy
we're dealing
near
with.
us, he must have been in his 60s or 70s, who kept calling out in the middle of Catherine trying to speak, which was kind of funny, but probably annoying for her.
Oh, what? Just like
like trying to finish her
interjecting.
sentences for her, despite her having an auto cue and her already struggling to read the auto cue at
I
times.
saw that, yeah.
I mean, bless her, she couldn't see Segan's Akinola's name after about 4 takes. They could took her.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it was. He was in the audience as well, by the way. Him and Murray Gold were both in the audience, and at the
Sick.
end, Murray came out, but Segan didn't. And then in the evening one, they both came out. So I
weird.
don't know what happened there. I made a joke. My mum was like, maybe he got embarrassed by Catherine not saying his name right and went, "Nah, I'm not coming out."
Maybe. I don't know.
No,
I saw some people
doubt
get a
that
photo
was
with
it,
him.
But it was nice that they were there. I didn't get to meet either of them, unfortunately, but it was nice they were there. That was
Yeah.
cool. That was cool.
Enjoying their music.
Yeah, exactly. So after I Am the Doctor, we then had The Life of Sunday, which was just as gorgeous as I thought it would be. So it has that piano, and then it goes a bit more orchestral, and
So good.
gorgeous. Valet de Chem, 10th Doctor's Goodbye music. Come on. A Good Man, 12th Doctor's theme, the full 8 minutes, which was absolutely fantastic.
Ooh. As
Yeah,
in,
like
as
the
in
full-
we're talking like oh wow, chills.
But there's like so
literal
much
chills.
more to it than that, which is like I love we got all of it. But like I said, didn't get The Shepherd's Boy. But what we did get was 73 Yards to Find Time, which was music from 73 Yards, Boom, and Dot and Bubble,
Oh, okay.
which was fine.
Okay.
Nothing. I was
Yeah.
that one. I have to admit that one I was less listening to the music and more looking at the clips that was on the screen, because they played clips for the whole thing, and occasionally audio would peek up from like the actual episode, like in the middle of the 12th Doctor's theme, like the speech he gives to the Boneless, where he's like, "This plane is defended," blah blah blah. Like that, that peeked up. Like occasionally
cool.
you get those. Then we had the Companion Suite, which was a little bit sad because it was clear it was only going to be Maury's music, but it sucked. They were like, "Here's the music of all the companions." Then it stopped at Bill. But I thought about it, and does Yaz actually have a theme? Like, unironically, does she have one?
She has a theme, and it's called "Forgetting She's a Policewoman."
Moving swiftly onwards. So that went through Rose all the way up to Bill. So Rose, Martha, Donna, Amy, Clara, and Bill, all of their themes played, which was like transitions between those, absolutely fabulous. Then there was the Segan Akinola piece, The 13th Doctor, which was music from, does it say in here? Okay, yeah, here we go. So it's well, they've worded it funny, but it was The Woman Who Fell to Earth, Demons of the Punjab, Spyfall, and The Power of the Doctor. Which, like, so 4 of, like, the biggest moments, granted, yeah. But like I said, I would have liked them to have been split up. Like, I would have liked to have heard the 30 Doctors music on our own. I would like to hear the Spyfall Master theme in full on its own. Even the Demons of the Punjab music. Did they play
the James Bondy one where they're, like, rocking up to the party? Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they had that.
That's pretty cool.
And then it
I would have liked to have
quickly
seen
moved into
that.
the Master's theme. Like, it just felt like he could have had more time, personally. Especially when you then say, you know, we didn't have Shepherd's Boy. Segan Akinola was reduced to one song, but we then had Abigail's song from A Christmas Carol. There were some real, like, rogue choices here I was impressed with.
Interesting.
Like, that was a great one to pick, but I was, like, surprised by it almost.
No, good choice. Great choice. Powerful
And then we had
stuff.
The Legend of Ruby Sunday, which was music from the finale 2-parter, including a bit of orchestral Sutek
And
music.
of course, the Legend of the Sea Devil Suite.
Let's not go there. Oh, that was another pair of creatures that came, or creatures in inverted commas. Sutek's like Angels of Death. So 2 people came out with the black hoods
cool.
on and the face paint. It was amazing. They looked really good. And then we finished with the Doctor Who theme 2024 in the program.
Did it pop off?
It popped off, and it went on for way longer than it even did. Like in the 60th anniversary one, where it was like a minute and a bit. I think it went on for like 2 minutes. They kept like redoing certain bits, like intentionally.
Oh, okay.
They made it last for a while, but it was awesome. It was really cool.
Sweet. Wow.
So
you know
yeah,
what?
literally.
It sounds like sweet in the musical sense. Yeah. Wow, dude, that sounds like an incredible thing to witness.
It was fantastic.
How did you feel at the end of it, watching all of it?
It was easily one of the best gigs I've been to this year, like ever. No, it's fantastic. It's so fun to have been
jealous. I'm so jealous.
I think, like, depending on how they announce it ahead of time, it's possible if you put some money aside, you could come across and watch it. I don't see why not. It depends. See if you can do it. Look up plane tickets.
Maybe
How much are
one
plane
day.
tickets?
Oh,
Bring back the
gosh.
bit.
Yeah,
bring back the bit.
All right,
Let's have a look at the economy right now. What's the economy looking like for you? But yeah, like it was fantastic. I was really glad to have gone. I think it was really lovely. I would have loved, like I said, for Shooty to have come out. I think that would have been really cool to have seen him on the stage. But whatever, it is what it is. He's going to a Comic-Con anyway, so he won't escape me forever. Evil laugh insert here. But yeah, it was genuinely fantastic. I love that Russell was there. It felt like, you know, it was even more of a notable kind of moment. I love that Catherine Tate presented it, that she's embraced this all so much, especially since the 60th. I saw someone tweet saying that she went through all of Series 4 thinking nobody liked her character, which I suppose she did when filming Series 4 because she didn't have the best reviews for Runaway Bride. But I never really knew what her reaction was after Series 4. I don't know about that, but especially since the 60th, she's like, she loves it. And I think that's rightfully so. Because Donna is one of the best companions the show's ever had, and that's just an objective fact. You know?
Yeah.
So I think that's fab. It's really lovely.
It just looks like such a fun time.
So that was my experience with the Doctor Who proms.
Wow.
Thank you for listening.
A star-studded appearance with Russell T Davies. I think maybe Russell was starstruck from seeing you because he knows who's there at Doctor Who podcast. And he was like, I can't. He was too starstruck. Couldn't say anything.
Listen, man, all I can tell you is I was delighted to meet him.
Absolutely delighted.
There was a part of me that ran through me and went, I'm delighted to meet you. But he wouldn't have got the joke, I feel like, because we've made it a bit from one interview clip from like 2005.
At all. He would not understand that at all.
Everyone went, mention the podcast. I was like, if it comes up, I'll be like, yeah, we're big fans of you. We have a podcast, blah, 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 blah. But like, it was so brief. I was like, oh, it's good to meet you. Can I get a photo? And then that was it. Gone. Like, I had no chance to speak to him. But, you know, I got a photo with him. I'm quite happy with that. It was lovely. Nice way to wrap it all up, even though it was in the middle of it.
Unreal.
Yeah. So cannot recommend it enough. If there's a way to get you the footage of the proms when it comes out, we'll make it happen. If not, I don't know if you, surely with the VPN or even without a VPN, like can you get on BBC Sounds and listen to the podcast? You might be able to.
Yeah, I think BBC Sounds I can get on.
Yeah, so well worth listening to the proms. It was a fantastic thing. And from what I've heard, because I tried to listen to the evening one on the way back, but train Wi-Fi was just as bad as you'd expect train Wi-Fi to be. So I kept cutting out, and eventually I gave up. But what I could hear was really good.
Cool.
It was really, really good. So,
cool.
Yeah.
I'll give that a go.
Well, there you go. Let's finish with one last call from, let's have our regular. After he pranked us last week, what has the Beast Boss got to say? He's only got 7 seconds here. So this is going to be short and sweet. But let's see what he says about the Doctor Who proms.
Troy really went from the crazy hotline saga to meeting Russell T Davies. That's incredible.
Isn't it just?
Oh, a compliment. A compliment from the boss.
Iconic. Well, you know what I'll do next time? If I get to meet Russell, I'll FaceTime you at the same time. And I'll be like, hey, look, it's Russell! Look!
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, that
Our
would be cool.
internet would not sustain that. But yes, we could do
Actually, do you know what I might do? Do you know what I might do? Next time Jodie Whittaker does a con, I'll go meet her. I'll call you. I'll go, look, it's the Broadchurch girl.
that. Hey, just point.
He just points out you do like the soy face.
Oh, it's the Broadchurch girl.
Oh, good grief. But yeah,
Oh,
it was a
goodness
fantastic
gracious
time.
me.
I have no idea how well I've sold it because it's currently 11 p.m. on a Sunday night. My energy is not exactly at its peak, and this man here overslept, so he's not exactly awake either. So I hope I've managed to sell how good it was because it was a fantastic time.
You absolutely have.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it.
I'm itching to go one day. We had a
Cannot
thing here
recommend it
called the Symphonic Spectacular, which is kind of like a version of it. Have you heard of the Symphonic Spectacular?
I went to that in like Manchester when I was a kid. My mum reminded me. I thought I'd never been to one before, but it must have been I was so young that I barely remember it.
Yeah.
But I actually think Russell said, or someone heard him say, there was going to be another tour next year. Or they were looking at doing a tour.
For Symphonic.
So you never know. Something could happen. I have no idea if that's true. That might have been utter waffle. Please, if you're listening to this and you have a comment section, you can comment anything you've heard. Let us know if that's wrong or right. I don't want to get anyone excited. But it feels like a good thing to do. Like, the people will turn up for it. Both of the shows for the Albert Hall for their proms were sold out. And, like, don't get me wrong, classical music is lovely. I'm sure there's a lot of people who like it. But I highly doubt... Like Vivaldi sold out the same way the Doctor Who proms did. I highly doubt.
No, I'd be keen. I'd be interested to see if they would pull it off here in Australia because that used to be such a hot commodity back when, like, Matt and Peter were doctors. They had a few symphonic spectaculars, and that was like packed. They like packed out the same stadiums and stuff. Not stadiums, like what do you call it? Event halls. Whatever,
yeah,
that some massive artists were playing at the time. So
one night it's Pink, the next night it's Murray Gold.
Quite literally, yeah. It's wild. It was wild. So hopefully they bring it back, and then I'll do a report as to whoever is the host of it. No doubt, I'll be able to go and do a video with them. And
I'm going to host it. I'm going to message Russell and be like, "Yo, mate, can I host the proms?"
I'll do the Australian leg. Don't even worry.
We should do all together. Of it. I should fly you out, How much are the plane tickets? Did you look?
Yeah. Well, if I wanted to leave today, it's very expensive, my boy.
Oh, go on.
It is $3,433. I think that's Australian.
Is that one way?
That's one way.
Good grief.
That's crazy, right? That is crazy.
I can't wait to never see you again. Jeez.
With a bit of planning, you can make it manageable, but yeah, it's not cheap.
Not at the minute, I can't. Donate to my Twitch, and maybe I'll fly to Australia. Okay,
yeah,
hashtag get that Troy brings an end to this episode of the podcast. Crispy, you know what I'm going to ask you for?
Mm-hmm. My final thoughts, perhaps?
Your closing comments. Get the alliteration, sir.
Oh, Crispy's closing comments.
Crispy's closing comments.
Well, it goes like this. Da, 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 da. I was supposed to be the shepherd's boy, but I can't. I was going to say, I felt like I
was hearing a bit of the shepherd's boy there.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of the shepherd's boy in all of our hearts. Just think about that. That's what I want you to take away from this.
Podcast, I let you go.
Thank you. Wow, that's beautiful, Troy. That's really good.
Thank you. We will see you all next week where we talk about more Doctor Who things. What will we talk about? Well, you'll find out.
Oh, it's gotta be crazy.
It is. It's gonna be a hot debate. Do you like debating, Crispy?
Yes.
Well, it's a good job because there might be some debating next week. So, thank you all for listening. Until next week, it's goodbye from Crispy.
See you later.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye, mates. Why am I Australian? I've no idea. See you next week. L-on-Z, baby.
L-on-Z, baby.